Welcome back, everybody. We are on week 4 of 5 on the discipline reset. And if you remember from last week, we talked about why are you sharp at 9 or 10 o'clock in the morning and then just a zombie at 2, 3, 4 o'clock. And we talked about ways to get over that. Now we get to the point which is my favorite point, and this is my favorite week, week 4. Why? Because we're talking about the rule that eliminates hesitation, especially when you're under pressure. Anybody can not hesitate when there's no pressure, right? It's easy to take action if there's not a ton of pressure. We can take action if the actions are easier, but what about when we have or we're feeling some sort of pressure? Decisions get slower when your identity is unclear. Let me say it again. Decisions get slower when your identity is unclear. You need to know who you are, believe it with all your heart, and have proof that you are that person. With week 4, we're going to talk about two quick things, which are action and your identity. I have this whole play framework that I talk about in every speech, every workshop, and it's purpose, leverage, action, and ultimately your identity. Today, we'll briefly discuss action and your identity. How do you eliminate hesitation? I will share a quick story. A few years ago, I had an opportunity to go bungee jumping. I'm not great with heights. In fact, I'm horrible with heights. That's why I signed up to do this activity to try to overcome that fear of heights. I am walking out on, it looks like a diving board on the side of this bridge that looks extremely intimidating. Before I could refuse to do this activity, I was already harnessed in, and this guy, Leo, was my guide. And Leo had me hop out onto this diving board looking platform. In front of me is the most beautiful scenery ever. Blue skies, few clouds, cool breeze, incredible mountains off into the distance. There's a river right below me with a boat that's going to pick me up after I finish bungee jumping up and down. And I enjoyed none of it because I was freaking out. I'm about to throw myself off a bridge. I get to the edge of this bridge and I hear my buddy Leo, who is my guide, say to me, "Hey Matt, are you ready?" I turned around and I looked at Leo and I said, "No." Leo said, "Then go." I jump. He tells me to go. I jump. Immediately when my feet left that platform, complete peace. It may be hard to believe, but it's true. It was complete peace, ultra present in the moment peace. As a result, it was one of the most enjoyable experiences of my entire life. But the takeaway is what Leo taught me. We're talking about the rule that eliminates hesitation under pressure. That's a lot of pressure. You're standing on the edge of a bridge, getting ready to throw yourself off. The rule is what Leo taught me. Why did he tell me to go when I told him I was not ready? Because Leo knew I'd still be up there. If he waited until I was ready, I'd still be standing there years later. The rule is this: go, set, ready. In sports, we hear ready, set, go. In life, it doesn't work that way because often you hear people go, "All right, I'm going to get ready. Okay, I need to get more ready. Wait, I need to chat GPT this. I need to get more ready. I got to Google Gemini this. I need to get more ready, more ready, more ready, more ready." Thinking, and no doing. They never get to set and definitely don't get to go. In life, we flip it. That eliminates the hesitation. Boom, we go. You already start the process. That's how you eliminate hesitation under pressure. If you want to become more disciplined, you go before you're ready. Here's the coolest part of the whole thing. If you do this with consistency and you start small, if you're looking to get healthier and your go is not, I'm going to go run 9 miles, right? If you're beginning the process, your go might be you're going to put on your running shoes and you're going to walk outside. That's it. Because then you know once you get out there, you're going to start moving. But you make it small. The go doesn't have to be jumping off a bridge. It can be tying your shoes. It can be writing the first sentence of a book or of a chapter, recording the first 5 seconds of a podcast just to see how it feels. The go can be small. The coolest part is this, though. You heard me say decisions get slower when identity is unclear. When you begin to take action and you consistently take action and you're building this proof, this new proof of who you are, there it is, who you are. Your identity shifts. You take action over and over and over again. And now you stand there as a man or woman. You say, I'm a man of action. I'm a woman of action. I'm a person of action. Over and over again, I'm someone that takes action. I go for it. I'm relentless. I'm unstoppable. I take action. That becomes your new identity. During this discipline reset of week 4, it's focusing on who you are at your core. And if you're not where you want to be, raise the standard. Raise the standard, change the action, and then the actions will meet that new standard. Now, guess what? You have an expanded identity. You have an expanded version of who you are. And people will do anything to remain steady with their identity. That's the strongest force in humans. As a result, if you keep leveling up who you are, now that's the strongest force. Now there's no hesitation, even when there's pressure. Now decisions come quicker because your identity is clear. That's how we get through this and crush week 4 of our discipline reset. The question and challenge for you from this week to the final week, week 5, is how can you go set ready? What is an action that you've been hesitant on that you just need to go? It could be just sign up. If it's that job at work and you're like, I should do it, I don't know, sign up, done, you're in. I wanted to do that 10K with my daughter or son or niece, or sign up, you're in. Within reason. If the 10K is tomorrow and you haven't run or walked in a year, maybe not. But if you have enough runway, give yourself, just go, you sign up. I've always wanted to become a better speaker. There's this Toastmasters thing. I should go. You go, sign up. I should really email that person about that. Send the email right as soon as this podcast ends. Boom, you send the email. Where do you need to go set ready? And then if you want to take on an additional challenge, once you come up with that one thing, how will that change your identity? How will that change who you are at your core? There's your one challenge, potential 2, if you dare to accept it for this week, week 4 leading into week 5. What's one area where you can use go set ready? And as a result, if you consistently do it, how will that level up and expand your identity? Thanks for joining week 4 of the Discipline Reset. We're having a blast. I can't wait to see you next week for the final week of Discipline Reset, week number 5.